Good morning, everybody. It's really a privilege speaking after Dr. Pavan Duggal. You know, for the last, 6 years of my journey in cybersecurity, I have been following him very closely. I have remained associated on very many fronts with him. And specifically speaking, whatever we could do at West Bengal on cybersecurity front, a great extent of credit must go to people like Dr. Duggal. And it's really an honor speaking after him. And it also puts a lot of, difficulty, put me in a lot of difficulty when I am speaking after him, because he has left most of these things addressed and there is hardly anything to speak. So before I go into my topic today is a very interesting topic. This is called democracy in data governance. So before I do that, before I delve into my discussion or my discourse, I would like to thank VAR India, Dr. Sau, and everybody, Ms. Thakur and all, of continuously getting across to us. I didn't have any idea how they found me, and continuously over the last 2 years during the pandemic and all, forced me on writing a lot of things for them. And last year also they brought out a piece from us, and it's really a privilege in coming here after this pandemic, meeting across people, talking to you all. And a lot of people are coming, though, because today it started with a rain in the morning, so it might have delayed people coming here. But even then, seeing people across from various strata and talking to is really a privilege as well as a challenge. So let me, start by my presentation, the democracy in data governance. What we are seeing here right now, when we came here inside, we actually let out our name, our mobile number, our email ID, and all those stuff. And if you really see what I have just depicted, here, is that when I use my name, it is a fact. And mostly it is valueless, because if you find out Sanjay Kumar Das, there might be n number of Sanjay Kumar Das across the globe, and one specifically very popular is a minister in Odisha. A small state, but very vibrant state, just a neighbor of ours. He is a minister there. So if you Google, you will find a minister from Odisha. If you much more Google into, you will find that Saurabh Ganguly's bosom friend's name is also Sanjay Das. So if you want to buy my name, it is not my name, and it is really valueless. So it is a fact. My name is a fact, very simple fact. But if you add my mobile number to my name, yes, it has little value. You can get this data, if you have been, for your children, if you have been dropping your this thing before this online transactions and all. What I used to do, I used to drop the check for my kids at a bank, at the drop box, and behind those checks, we had to write down name and mobile number. I think you remember. My kids are right now grown up, but I still remember. So one day what happened, on my way to office, I dropped the check and immediately got a call that I had to go to the secretariat, not to my office. And there is a meeting at 11 o'clock. So I dropped the check at around 10 o'clock when the bank opened, and there was 1 hour time, so I could cool off a little bit. So, what does a Bengali do to cool off in the morning? Take a cup of chai le lete hain. Absolutely, Bengali so well. So I just went across the road, went into the tea shop, and started sipping a cup of tea. And suddenly, I was bewildered. What I saw, that the checks that I dropped, somebody came, talked to the security personnel, brought out all the checks, brought out a, copy from the bag, and started writing the name and the phone numbers. Those times, my mobile phone had a very BGA kind of, this camera. So I took a number of pictures, but I cannot show you right now. I tried to find out yesterday, but somehow it got jumbled up in many drives and all. But I saw, and I was bewildered. I threw the cup. I ran across the road, and I confronted the security person. And he told an amazing thing. क्या पूछ रहे हैं सर? पूछना क्या है? मैंने बोला मैंने चेक ड्रॉप किया. कौन सा चेक? मैंने बोला इसमें है, उसके अंदर में है. वो आपके पास है क्या? मैंने बोला नहीं, मेरे पास नहीं है. तो आपका कैसे हुआ? आपने चेक ड्रॉप कर दिया, ये आपका पैसा था, वो जिसके पास चला गया उसका पैसा हो गया. Who are you? So I understood when we used to, till today, when we receive calls like आपको क्रेडिट कार्ड की जरूरत है. मुझे तो इतनी फोन आती है क्रेडिट कार्ड और लोन के लिए. मेरा एक ही स्टॉक रिप्लाई है, यू कैन ट्राई इट ऑल्सो, दैट आई ओनली टेक लोन्स विच आर नॉन रिफंडेबल. You can try that. I hope that person will not call you back. So because I do not have the capacity to pay back. No, the great thing is it has value when you add my mobile number to it. But you see, when I am just using my Aadhaar number, it becomes invaluable. You do not require my number. You do not require my mobile number. You only have my Aadhaar number. There are n number of identifiers available in darknet where you put your anybody's Aadhaar number and you pay some cents, some dollars or whatever in cryptocurrency or in rupee, converted into cryptocurrency, and bang, you get all the details of that person. Yes, you do not get biometrics, but you get all the details. How they are collecting the details? Very simple. अगर राखी जी मुझे बताते कि आपको यहां अंदर आने के लिए एक you require an identifier, और मैं तुरंत ईमेल में मेरा आधार कार्ड भेज देता. As simple as that. और उस आधार कार्ड के ऊपर मेरा QR कोड भी है. तो बाकी तो आप समझ ही रहे होंगे. You are quite intelligent to understand. And somebody is collating and keeping it as a repository, as a service, and we people we are bloody fools, and we are allowing this thing to happen. Tomorrow I am flying, going to Jalpaiguri. There is a Jalpaiguri Government College where there is, they are holding some centenary celebration or something, and they invited me, and they are booking some room for me. So the head of the computer science department asked me to send some, document. What is the document? The very first answer came, sir, आपका आधार भेज दीजिए. So you understand that how we are actually sharing our invaluable data. So when we start by here registering my name, I do not really care. When we are violated and shared our mobile number, we endive, I really do care. So just imagine what happens, the decision dilemma we actually, face. What is the decision dilemma? When it is name, Sanjay comes to the conference and he is asked to register. So when it is name, on the fly, दे दो अपना नाम. क्यों नहीं? Because I am known by my name. आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या है सर? आप कौन सी कंपनी से हैं? अच्छा, ये तो ऑब्वियस ही है ना. आप कार्ड नहीं देंगे तो कैसे आपको रजिस्टर किया जाएगा? आपका ईमेल क्या है? आप थोड़ा सा एंग्शियस हो गए. कोई भी आपको कुछ भी भेज सकता है. सर मुझे नौकरी चाहिए. एंड द लास्ट वन इज आपका मोबाइल नंबर क्या है? एंड यू हैव फियर. And if you do not face this dilemma, you really do not care. my humble request to all of you to start having this dilemma. So, what is the need to know? In data governance, if you want to bring democracy, you need to understand the basic principle is to need to know. If I do not require, I won't collect. Just imagine what happens. All those registers lying outside, any one of you can just go there and take a snap. I hope Corona has made us, go to lot of doctors over the last few years. मुझे जब second time Corona हुई, तो after that all my doctor friends said कि this is high time you went to a doctor. So I went to a doctor. उन्होंने बोला कि पहले जाने के पहले तुम ना इतना टेस्ट करके जाओ. So I did all the tests. उन लोगों को भेज दिया टेस्ट का रिपोर्ट, तो मैंने देखा कि जो रिपोर्ट वहां था और उन लोगों की जो सोच थी, तो आई शुड नॉट हैव कम हियर एंड स्पीकिंग टू यू. मैं देखा हर सेक्शन में मैं खराब हूं. तो देन दे फोर्स मी टू गो एंड सी अ डॉक्टर. अरे यू हैव क्रॉस 50, इट इज हाई टाइम यू वेंट एंड मीट अ डॉक्टर. सो आई वेंट इनटू द डॉक्टर. Doctor talked to me for 20 minutes, took 1,500 rupees as fees. इतना बड़ा लंबा एक prescription दे दिया. I took the prescription, came out of his chamber, and immediately somebody snapped the, prescription out of my hand. And before I could comprehend, she took a snap of that prescription. मैंने बोला क्या क्या आपने? नहीं सर, आपको सेवा के लिए हम हाजिर हैं. What type of सेवा that you are giving? सर क्या क्या कौन सी आपकी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन में क्या क्या करना है, कहाँ करने से आपको मैक्सिमम फैसिलिटी मिल सकती है, यू विल गेट ग्रेटेस्ट डिस्काउंट, द लार्जेस्ट डिस्काउंट, एंड कैसे कैसे आपके पास घर में चले आएंगे, सब कुछ कर देंगे और आपको कोई चिंता नहीं है, बिकॉज यू मस्ट बी गोइंग टू ऑफिस. सवेरे आपको उठने से रात को आपको बता देंगे कब आपको खाना है, कब आपको यूरिन लेना है, वगैरह वगैरह सब कुछ. तो आई वॉज flabbergasted. मैंने बोला वो तो सब ठीक है, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच, आई एम, एंड यू आर गेटिंग दिस एंटायर सर्विस फ्री, FOC, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. आप जानते हैं ना, इन टेक्नोलॉजी इफ यू डू नॉट नो एब्रिविएटेड फॉर्म्स, यू डू नॉट नो एनीथिंग. दैट आई अंडरस्टूड 6 years बैक व्हेन आई केम इनटू दिस डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी. उसके पहले तो मुझे ये सब पता ही नहीं था. आई वॉज अ फील्ड गाय. So first what I did in the very few months, I wrote all these terminologies. So I am an encyclopedia of terminologies right now. So free of cost हमको सुविधा मिलेगा, बहुत अच्छा है. लेकिन मैंने बताया मैडम आपका मोबाइल फोन स्मार्टफोन है? उन्होंने बोला हाँ है. मैंने बोला मैडम वो इंटरनेट से कनेक्टेड है? उन्होंने बोला हाँ है. मैंने बोला मैडम आप ट्विटर में हैं? उन्होंने बोला हाँ है. मैंने बोला तब तो आप खत्म कर दिए मुझे. उन्होंने कैसे सर? मैंने बोला आप मेरा ये प्रिस्क्रिप्शन 1789 प्लेटफॉर्म में शेयर कर दिए. उन्होंने बोला ऐसा होता है? हमने तो कुछ नहीं किया. मैंने बोला यस, यू डाउनलोडेड ट्विटर, यू अलाउड योर गैलरी एंड इट वेंट इनटू योर गैलरी. ट्विटर हैज डायरेक्ट एक्सेस टू द गैलरी एंड ट्विटर्स at that point of time Mr. Jack Dorsey in United States joint parliamentary session, he told that whatever document Twitter accesses, it shares with 1788 platforms. That is my source of revenue. तो just imagine, अभी ये पूरी दुनिया में 1789 प्लेटफॉर्म्स जानते हैं कि सवेरे 8 बजे मैं टेल्जी एच खाता हूं. Everybody knows that I am a hypertensive guy and I take TLGH at 8 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to the jungle of shared data and shared existence. So whenever you take a private snap by using your mobile phone and you have n number of platforms getting access to your gallery, there is no private, my dear friends, in your entire life. So when people say, that my private moments have been exposed, they forget that they have allowed those things to be made public. And this is called click-wrap contract. When we say yes, we allowed all those prerequisites to be right. And that is called click-wrap contract. And Honorable Supreme Court told that the boilerplate, conditions in a click-wrap contract cannot be held against the user. तो अगर आप नहीं समझते हुए भी क्लिक करें और उसमें ऐसे कंडीशंस है जो बॉयलर प्लेट है, यानी कि वो टच करने से गर्म लगता है, यू टेक दिस थिंग, सो दोज कंडीशंस अगर आप एक्सेप्ट भी करें, दे कैनॉट बी हेल्ड अगेंस्ट यू. आई एम नॉट सेइंग, Honorable Supreme Court said. So my dear friend, you need to understand what you need to know. And there is a decision to be taken whether do we require to get these details which we have all shared outside, and do we not. Because some data are required for identification, some data are required for verification, and a huge amount of data is required for promotion. And this promotion, the other name of promotion is sales. So what is personally identifiable information? This is a known thing, and you all know what is a personally identifiable information. When I am talking about my name, it is just a fact. It is an information. When you start identifying through my name by adding attribute to it, it is called personally identifiable information. When you actually add verifiable attributes to that, it becomes personally identifiable and sensitive information. So, as privacy is our fundamental right and it has been upheld by the judgment of Honorable Supreme Court in Puthuswamy case, somebody said something? Yeah. So, actually I wrote, that's why I can tell correctly, otherwise I could have forgotten. Thank you. So, identity is to identify, it's very clear. So, if you want to identify me, you should be given a choice to me. So, when I have shared my card with Mr. Dept sir, I decided to identify myself. This is my right. You cannot force me to identify myself. So, identity is to identify. And limits of identification, whom I would like to or with whom I am not going to share my identity. And the last is the rights of identification. It is within my hands. When I am actually writing my details and personally identifiable information in every nook and corner of this digital world, I am losing my right of identification. So, think about transactional data lake. Right now, there are CCTVs here. Video camera is capturing us live, sending across to n number of platforms. It may appear that YouTube is getting. So as soon as YouTube is getting, thousands and thousands are platforms which are connected to YouTube on an API basis. They are also getting it too. VAR India is sending it live in Facebook and different platforms. They might be seeing us. So what is transactional data lake? This entire transactional data, they are getting reposited in a lake that is called transactional data lake. My dear friends, please go into the site of Government of India. It is opendata.gov.in, and you would find out that transactional data lake is the necessity of today. And in the transactional data lake, this personally identifiable information, personally identifiable sensitive information, transactional data, and analyzed data, they are collected. So it is high time we had what is called a stainer. That stainer will actually dissociate personally identifiable and attributable facts from the data so that nobody can identify you and profile you. And when that stainer, the anonymizer, will anonymize the entire data and put that entire data into anonymized data lake, everybody can take out data from that. And you understand that public transactional data is the lifeline for affordable public service development. Today, thousands and thousands of startups, MSMEs, they are incapable of continue and do their POC because they cannot get live transactional data and because nobody shares in the open forum because they cannot be anonymized. We often mix between masking, redacting, and anonymized data. So it is not about masking because masked data can be profiled and identified. Now next is very important, our redacted data. They can be profiled too, but anonymized data cannot be profiled back and it cannot come back to you and identify you. Ladies and gentlemen, the democracy in data governance means that democracy is our right and it is an established fact. Data is my right because it is my asset, and governance is the responsibility of all of us together, be it government, be it private, be it the civil society. And my last and most important slide is, thank you very much.